This week, I arrive in Portland, Oregon, and it is freezing. Did Josh Allen steal the MVP from Saquon Barkley this week? Kyler Murray once again does dumb stuff. Rip reacts. And we have a special guest, an Indiana Hoosier, currently getting buckets for the Memphis Hustle in the G League, Race Thompson.
Hoosier fans, hop on over to our beloved sponsor, 500level.com, for all the best t-shirts from Indiana players in the NBA. Trace Jackson Davis, Jalen Hood Schifino, OG Anunoby coming off a career high with the Knicks. All the Hoosiers in the NBA, they have awesome t-shirts on 500level.com. Use the discount code DK and RIP at checkout for 20% off everything on the site. That's DKANDRIP, 500level.com. Let's go!
This is Race Thompson. I'm here with the One Star Recruits podcast. Go Hoosiers.
Yo, aloha. Welcome to the podcast. 175.2 pounds. Checking in from Portland, Oregon, 31 degrees. Yes, Rip, that is up 3 pounds from my check-in last week, if you're counting.
Well, Thanksgiving week, coming off the heels of Thanksgiving, not too bad. I hid my scale from the entire family. I'm not even checking.
You're not even checking? How'd everything go with you? I know you a very important rhubarb pie that you had to get. I don't know if you were doing the turkey. 1 to 5 stars. What do you give your Thanksgiving this year?
I'd say 4 stars. It was nice to have some family in town, get some pumpkin pie, the once a year pumpkin pie. Just finished it off last night. Got a little bit of turkey left over and back to the grind. School started today. We're back in business, DK.
You take my advice with your mother-in-law?
I did not.
You did not, Rip.
Why don't you tell the listeners what that advice was?
Yeah. Rip's mother-in-law is a very sweet woman. She is a fan of PBS, Public Broadcasting Systems or Network. I'm not sure how that analogy works out now that I said it out loud. PBS fan. I happen to also enjoy a little Masterpiece Theater, some Nova, catch me watching some nature shows, or maybe a Frontline every now and again on PBS. So me and Rip's mother-in-law get along, simpatico, talking all things public access television. However, Rip can't build the rapport. He has never been able to build that rapport for years, and he's been trying everything that he can just to gain an ounce of her respect, really, to be honest. And I know you gave her grandchildren, a wonderful home for her daughter, and you take care of your family, but I still think you're in probably the 2-star level. You went hard on the rhubarb pie. That's why I asked. That was for her. So I think that's a win. If I'm not mistaken, you might have driven all the way to Downey, to the last standing Marie Callender's for that damn pie, Rip. And then I said, hey, here's a cheat sheet for what's going on in 2025, Q1 PBS. Drop a couple of these on her. And you gave me a smiley face. And I knew you were going to ignore me, Rip. I knew you were going to ignore me. You should have pulled it off, though. Did you have any quality conversations with your mother-in-law? Or did you just blow it?
We talked about the origins of rhubarb pie, the fact that Marie Callender's is basically the last place standing that sells fresh pies on Thanksgiving as a chain. They shut down their entire dining room for Thanksgiving week. There's a line around the corner just to pick up pies. So my love language is food and specifically desserts. So it translated pretty well to that. We've got about 1/2 a slice of rhubarb pie left, and everyone's happy.
So rhubarb pie work, conversation, you got the history, but you didn't take any of my knowledge. You didn't even think about it. You didn't even think about saving that relationship through the art of PBS. You're just not even going to try.
I leave those strategies to you because you're such a natural and it's right up your alley. Everyone knows you're the biggest Masterpiece Theater fan under the age of 65. So it just flows off the tongue for you. For me, it would take hours and hours of research. It wouldn't sound authentic and it would just be forced. So I'm not going down that road. I'll stick to the pies and the donuts.
Stay in your lane, bro. Stay in your lane. Smart man, probably. You don't want to do too much. I'm here in Portland, dude. It's 31 degrees. It's the same temperature essentially that it was in Buffalo. No snow. That game was wild. Hey, Rip, that Sunday night game in the snow in Buffalo. Really, that's my favorite type of football scene. I think to watch TV, not to go to, but to watch on TV. It's the way to watch football, especially when there's still some scoring going on. Did you see Josh Allen's play everybody's talking about?
Yeah, it was incredible. And I heard he started himself on his fantasy football team. He was trying to get credit for a touchdown pass and reception on the same play. I don't think Yahoo's down with that. But we missed 95% of that game, but in the fourth quarter, NBC played like a 30-second montage of the 49ers and all the mishaps they had. So I pulled my wife in the room. I said, you don't have to watch any of this game. Just watch this 30 seconds. It was Deebo Samuel fumbling. It was Kyle Juszczyk fumbling. It was Jawan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall slipping in the snow. It looked like the Bad News Bears, and really that's all you needed to see from that game.
They just weren't prepared for that at all. And I think Shanahan even came out and said, hey, this isn't the same team we've had in years past. Also, we weren't ready for this. And you can tell you could tell in the equipment manager, the whole setup. And now that I'm out here in this cold weather, it's a whole another ball game. The name of the game for success is layering, obviously, and getting things right, which brings me back to Portland. We arrived, Rip. So let's see, a couple things that stood out to me upon arrival. Obviously, the temperature change coming from Hawaii, and this whole thing is very drastic, very crisp is what I'd call it. Luckily for us, it's not raining. We've had sunny days the first couple days that we've been here, so fully accepted. But initially, right off the bat, homelessness, drug use in the area that I'm at, which is the Pearl District at the lovely Residence Inn, which, by the way, Rip, is my favorite hotel brand of all of them. The luxury stuff is available to us in the world that I roll in, all the other stuff. If I have my druthers about a hotel, I'm going Residence Inn, 10 out of 10. Full kitchen, big room, affordable, very nice. Actually, I do take that back. The Generation 1 Residence Inns, like the ones you see on Bethany Home Road and the 101, you know those? Stay away from those. Those look like old apartments, but the newer ones, best. That should be my recommendation. I'm wasting my recommendation right now. But down here in the Pearl District, I expected to see hundreds, maybe even like thousands. I didn't even know of homeless drug addicts all over the streets. I'm not seeing that here. Yes. The first morning I popped out, I did a walk around just the block here, and yes, I saw my first fentanyl lean, my first crouched over fentanyl dance lean things that they do here. It was weird to see in person. But that was just one. I do know that there's areas of this city and places where everybody's hanging out and it's super cold. But the homeless thing, not as bad as I thought. And maybe it's just they cleared it out for the holidays. I don't know. I expected hundreds. I'm seeing maybe tens so far right now. So that's a plus, right, Rip? You think this place is just full of homeless drug uses from the media, right? Everywhere you look.
That's the portrayal of Portland, and I know those Residence Inn. They have a lot of room in there. They have a pull-out couch. So maybe it's the season of giving. Maybe you invite the next crouched over human to stay the night in the room.
No. None of that for us, man. It's zombies. It's really the closest thing to zombies when you see that. So I'm sure I'll run into more of that, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. Second takeaway. This is me coming from maybe a potential food desert or different type of culture food-wise. This is a hell of a good food city. I've been here for 2 days. I have had the most amazing pho. I have had a 10 out of 10 chicken sandwich. I don't think I've had this good of a chicken sandwich in years. And once again, take it with a grain of salt, Rip, because I haven't been eating the standard fare of the mainland for years. And then last night I had just amazing sushi at a place called Yama. That kind of blew my mind a little bit. I'm living in Hawaii, eating poke, doing the fresh fish regularly, but I haven't had this type of sushi experience on Hawaii. It's just different, and it just really hit. Very good food. So 5 stars there. That has stood true for the test of time. Those are my two biggest takeaways upon arrival. The third one, just small, friendly place. I got a lot of good mornings. I got a lot of smiles and eye contact just walking around with I do have a SGA style jacket on that I've been wearing. It's very stylish. So people might think I'm a celebrity here. It feels like I could be a celebrity here, Rip. I'm very good looking. I have a terrific tan right now, which is rare for this city. And when I'm swagged out like SGA, I mean, it's very easy to maybe mistake me for a reality TV star, potentially, Rip. So good drop in. Any questions about my first? Those are my first takes. Those are my hot takes, Rip.
No questions. I did notice you got the beard growing back, so that probably, I assume, to fit right in with the Portland locals, and you're gaining a little bit of weight there, probably covering up the love handles with that giant SGA jacket. But I'm glad to see you back, not out of your element like you were. You were a complete haole on the island of Hawaii. getting mocked every day by the locals, but now you look like a normal person up in the 503. Congratulations. It must feel good.
It feels good. I'm here for another. Let's see. We're recording early, listeners. It's a Monday instead of a Tuesday for us. Consistency's king. We're gonna keep getting these things out no matter what. I have a 7 a.m. flight back to Maui tomorrow morning. So next week I'll be clean shaven, fully have a beard. I'm gonna be back in Hawaii till about mid-month. So we'll check in next week. I'll be back in Hawaii and I'll give you an update on that as I close things up. But bro, life's happening. Things are moving. Things are moving. Indiana beat Purdue. That's pretty standard. Indiana basketball starting to get going. So all is well in Bloomington. IU basketball was out in the Bahamas. We like you in Maui a little bit more, Indiana. But I suppose you'll take the Bahamas trip down there. So as life goes on in Indiana, one thing different for Hoosiers fans, the first time in 7 years, they will not see Race Thompson in those wonderful warm-up pants getting ready to hoop because he's in Memphis trying to make the Grizzlies team. Enjoy this interview with Race Thompson.
Now joining the One Star Recruits podcast, we have a native of Plymouth, Minnesota, an Indiana Hoosier, currently a forward with the NBA G League's Memphis Hustle, and possibly a fellow member of Team Peanut Allergy. Race Thompson is on with the One Star Recruits. Thanks for hopping on, Race.
Appreciate you having me.
I had to ask you because your Instagram bio quote says, I have a peanut allergy. It's something I have to live with. Are you just quoting Will Ferrell from The Office there, or are you a legit peanut allergy guy? Because I'm really allergic to peanuts, and I need an ally on this show.
Yeah, man, I'm right here with you. It's both. So it's a quote from The Office, but I'm allergic to peanuts as well.
There's
brutal.
There's
man.
two of you. There's two of you now because I love. What do you miss the most? Rip misses peanut butter more than anything. Did you ever get a chance to dive into peanuts, or you never even got there?
Never got a chance to dive in.
Big almond butter guy. The almond butter is now my go-to. So you got to change it up when you got to do what you got to do.
I used to do soy butter a lot. Then I kind of got away from it. I don't really do it. I don't really eat any type of butters anymore, but never got to dive into it.
Keep it healthy. Keep it healthy, Race. EpiPen gang over here. Gotta be careful with those peanuts out there. You never know, man.
Got to be very careful.
Dude, let's talk about where you're at right now in the G League, a league that listeners know I love very much, averaging 20 minutes a game, shooting well. Dude, you fell into a nice glue guy role, kind of similar to what you were doing in college a little bit, but it's been a wild ride for you. What's your experience in the G League been like so far? It's been about a month.
It's been great. I mean, coming off of an injury, I'm just grateful to be playing now. And I mean, just being able to play at one of the highest levels that there is a blessing. I mean, it's been fun. It's been a really fun month. I feel like I've gotten better weekly, and just kind of finding my way and my role on the team I'm on. And I mean, doing what I do. That's I'm here for a reason. And I make winning plays, and you can call it a glue guy, you can call it that, but I think that it's basketball, and being a high IQ basketball player is why I'm here.
Oh, yeah, I like that better. High IQ, good teammate. Yeah, the glue guy is not even enough. Yeah, you're right. Thank you for calling me out on that one. Dude, G League, second best league, in my opinion, in the world. Great place to improve your game. Always one phone call away, which has just gotten better and better every single year. What are you working on to improve the most now? What are the coaches in Memphis kind of going in lieu of that call up? I know you're pretty well rounded, but anything in particular you want to shout out that you've been working on?
I think it's just defending, showing that I can defend it 1 through 5 almost. And then again, I can make shots too. In college, I didn't get to showcase it as much because in the flow of our offense, I didn't know where my shots were coming from necessarily from outside the arc. And when I've been shooting them here, I know where they're coming from. I know when I'm going to shoot them. And I mean, I think that gives me a boosted confidence. And then again, I worked on my shot endlessly the past 7-8 months as I've been able to get back into the swing of get back in shape and stuff after this injury. And I mean, it's showing so far this season, and just continue to work on that and go from there.
I mean, you got a chance to use that deal last night. You locked up former Hoosiers teammate Miller Kopp last night. What's it like being on the court with him, man? Did you guys get dinner? Did you guys chill afterwards, or all business?
But it's pretty much business. I mean, we're both doing our thing. I mean, it's definitely mutual respect. I mean, that's my brother, my roommate for a year in Indiana. And I mean, we just kind of have a relationship of you pick up where you left off. We don't need to go get dinner. We don't need to go do that. He's definitely my guy, always will be. But I mean, it's a lot of fun getting out there. I mean, he's trying to pursue his dream. I'm trying to pursue mine. And then again, just rooting for each other, do the best we can, and go at each other in between the lines. We're going to compete against each other and with respect at the end of the day. But it's just fun being able to go out there with a former teammate for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun for the fans to watch it last night. I was loving watching that last night. We got a storyline. It's good stuff. Indiana, just great teammates, great friend, great place to play basketball.
Yes.
Bloomington as a whole, you know what we do? I'm gonna switch it up, Rip. I'm gonna switch it up. We usually do hometowns. Are you your ex hometown? I want to do how Bloomington are you? Because I think you were there for a couple years, maybe 7 years. Is that crazy, Race? Were you there for 7?
Yeah, I was there for about 6.5, I'd say. Yeah, 7.
All right, let's go. Let's go then. Let's go. How Bloomington are you? You ready? 3
Yeah.
questions. Number 1, Buffalo's claims to have the world's best wings. Fun fact, I once spent 30 minutes on the phone call with the owner trying to get him to sponsor one of our Calbert Cheney episodes from like 4 years ago. A very one-star move by me. What's your order at Buffalo's, and can you hit us with 5 wing flavors there?
My order would be a Memphis dry rub. I think they do like a 10-piece Memphis dry rub wings with a side of fries and water. And then 5 wings, sweet barbecue, mild, medium.
You know all of them. Yeah, you ever get that deep fried cheesecake there?
No, I never had it there. I never
Dude,
had
that
it.
put that one on your list next time. When you're off your ball diet, when you get on that Coach Calbert Cheney diet. How about Bloomington? We're gonna keep it going here. How about let's do this one because you were there for 6 years. Griffey Lake, it's on the north side of town. There's tons of things to do, especially cheap or free for college students. Can you hit me with 2 free activities at Griffey Lake?
No.
Oh, pass. All right, moving on.
Man was in the gym, DK. Come on.
I know that's the thing. Well, give me a hoops question, Winston. Oh, he served me up. Okay, Indiana alumni faculty has earned Nobel Prizes, Pulitzers. Hoops is known though. Can you give me 3 Indiana Hoosiers that are in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame?
Isaiah Thomas.
Check.
Oh, off the top of my head, Buckner, is he in there?
Surprisingly
Buckner.
not. Quinn Buckner, no. He's College Hall of Fame, yes. Naismith Hall of Fame, no.
Oh, damn. I don't know, to be honest. I don't think I can.
He should be. I wouldn't have known any of these except for Coach Bob Knight, who's in there. George McGinnis, Walt Bellamy, Everett Dean, Bob Slick Leonard, and of course, Isaiah, who you mentioned. Tough. Those were tough. Those were tough from our producer, Winston, man.
Off the top of my head, I don't think I got it.
Those weren't our best questions, but you dominated it, man. Nice work.
That's why we're the 1 star. So, but we end every interview with the segment we call 1 star to 5 star. We know it. Everybody knows it. You just saw a little glimpse of it. We're the 1 stars, but we're trying to get better with advice and tips from every guest we have on this podcast, like yourself. So I just want to close it out with a few questions that run the gamut on a 1 to 5 star scale here. You ready?
Got you.
We're in a season of giving thanks. We got you on the heels of Thanksgiving tomorrow and kind of remembering what we're all grateful for. When I look at your story, your parents seem to have been a really integral part of your success, and it's so important to have good role models. We all know. What would you say is a 5-star thing your parents really helped you with over the years that you can give them flowers for, kind of setting you up for success in both sports and life?
I would just say staying humble. I watch my dad mostly just always be so humble. And I think that just watching that has made me similar to that in terms of just kind of staying grounded, no matter, don't get too high, don't get too low, kind of even keel. And I think that's something that was preached throughout my house from my mom and my dad. But I just saw my dad do it a lot because he was a bigger name around where I grew up. So I'd say I'm just super grateful to have learned that, even if they didn't even realize they were teaching me.
I love that. That's a great answer, and a lot of experience playing sports in your family, like you mentioned, and you could tell it kind of rubbed off on you and being humble and the way you play there. So, second one here, I have to ask this because you're the only person I've ever met with the first name of Race. On a scale of 1 to 5 stars, or if you've happened in the past, how likely do you think it is that you'll ever meet another person with the first name of Race? Has it happened before?
I got a message from a guy on Instagram. His name was Race. which was kind of funny. But I never have met somebody in person named. Actually, I lied. I did. There was someone that came to Indiana basketball camp, and his kid's name was Race. But he
Nice.
spelled it different, but his name was Race. So like I've met one kid that name was Race, but he spelled it different. So that is the gist of it.
Hey, group outing for the sales team in Memphis. Let's get them together. Get all the races back out to Memphis for a game.
It'd be like 4 people.
I love it, man. It was just probably some named after you in Bloomington pretty soon here in a couple of years. So yeah, last one rolling with at Assembly Hall, 17,000 diehard fans, Sweet Caroline, the whole thing, all those traditions. We've never actually been there. We had a lot of Hoosier guests on this podcast, but we know all about it because it's so iconic. You played almost more games than anyone in that uniform, 3-time team captain. What's the 5-star aspect about Indiana Hoosier basketball that just makes that environment so different from anywhere else?
I just say the overall tradition. No last names on your jerseys. Playing for the name on the front is kind of something that's always preached from coach to fans to even the players kind of pick up on it. And I mean, again, everybody's playing for their family and their pride, but I mean, you kind of drop that pride and play for a university. And then, I mean, people show out. And then in Indiana, they say it's in 49 states, it's basketball, but in Indiana, it's like a lifestyle. So, I mean, you get that basketball culture throughout the whole state of Indiana, that you're at one of the biggest universities in the state, that people literally bleed the crimson and cream. Like, loyalty of the fans, as hard as they can be on you, they do love basketball in Indiana. So, I mean, it was a blessing. I mean, that's a 5-star place to play for sure. It's a special place. I mean, I miss it. I'm trying to turn this game on as soon as we get off of here. But it's the best place to play in college basketball, in my opinion. I mean, the Carolinas, the Duke, all those, Kansas is pretty sweet, but Indiana is a special place for sure.
And it really feels like a family. I know when you were rehabbing from your broken tibia, you spent pretty much the whole year there, even traveled with the team after you had exhausted your eligibility. So just another example of once you're a Hoosier, you're always a Hoosier. So we know they love you there. We know they're loving you in Memphis. Everyone can go follow Race at Race_Thompson on Instagram. Like we said, he'll be in Memphis for the foreseeable future with the Hustle, possibly the Grizzlies soon. Race, we wish you the best of luck this season and beyond. And thank you again, man, for coming on with the 1-stars.
Yeah, appreciate you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Race. Thank you to the Memphis Hustle. Everybody knows I love the G League. Go get your tickets. It's the most affordable, best professional sports experience you can get, in my opinion. That is still very, very high-level professional basketball. So go support that squad. Good stuff going on. Rip, can I get you to a G League game this year? Can I get you down to El Segundo? Or are you gonna get out to the Inland Empire?
I mean, Bronny is in town in the South Bay Lakers, but guy's injured, not playing, or he's on some kind of restriction. I look at the box scores. I don't see his name. I see a DMP. I wanted to get the kids out. The kids are big Bronny fans for some reason. So I wanted to get the kids out there to watch him, but the guy's got to be in uniform for that. Come on, Bronny. Guy's making $1 million a year, DK. Did you know that? He's making $1 million a year.
I didn't know that. Maybe he'll sell some tickets. He doesn't do it for me that much. What does it for me, though, and I've realized as I'm coming back to the mainland, something incredibly important to me is that the city that I live in must have an NBA team that I can check out and I can see the stars when they come to town. And it really hit me hard yesterday. I was driving by the Moda Center, which should be still called the Rose Garden. I hate Moda Center. It's an insurance company, and that coming off my tongue, that coming out of my mouth, I don't like it. Moda Center. How does that feel to you? Does that bother you? Or am I weird about that? Moda.
It doesn't bother me too much, only because it's been named that for at least a few years now, so it kind of feels normal. But the problem is it went from being the Rose Garden, which one of the best names in the NBA, to the Moda Center, probably one of the worst when it first came out. So it's like it was a big downgrade for the name.
Yeah, downgrade for the name. So that doesn't excite me. I love a good classic name in an arena. But Dallas was in town last night, just casual. Hey, driving by. Oh, there's a game tonight. Trailblazers versus the Mavericks. And immediately I said, you know what? This is important to me that I can, if I want to go see Luka, I can drive on down and get a ticket and see Luka. If LeBron comes in his last year, I can drive on down. So I think in my cities, as I continue this, this progression of figuring out the best place to live, where I'd like to be. Mark it down, Rip, as an important foundational rule to have at least a pro basketball team, at least minimum for me. Not as much football. Football has become a TV sport for me, and a little bit more. I really enjoy the TV thing on football, but basketball, get me on a mini plan. I like to see the stars when they come to town, and it is what it is, Rip. So realizing new shit. Hopefully, I see Race Thompson when he comes to town with the Memphis Grizzlies. What do you think? Do you think dude's gonna make the team? Indiana alumni always have a chance, but the NBA is changing really quick. It really right now, current NBA, you got to shoot 3-pointers. That's it.
One thing with Race, if you look at the stats, and we talked to him about this a little bit in the interview, is he's been working on his shot for the last 7 to 8 months. I think he said endlessly was the word he said. If you look at his stats at Indiana, he was a career 26% three-point shooter, which isn't going to cut it. DK, right now, as we speak, after 9 games with the Hustle, the guy's shooting 50% from three. So if he can get anywhere close to that and keep that up and keep it up above 40%, he could be another one of those triple single guys. Draymond Green, nicknamed triple single, but a huge glue guy and a very important piece to a championship team. Race Thompson could get called up by the Grizzlies, but it might take an injury or two. But I think the guy could make the NBA and give a solid 10 to 15 minutes a game for one of those teams.
I think so too, man. Keep working on that shot. So important to see these guys, especially as the podcast keeps going on. It's nice to have a pro team in town with access, and then the entertainment value. I mean, it's great. It's still my favorite sport to watch live. Catch me out there. I mentioned football. Huge college football weekend. Ohio State, Michigan game. Turned out completely different than everybody expected, but still a wild ride. Congratulations, Michigan. They were going into that thing a 19-point underdog, Rip. I ended up pulling it off. People calling for Brian Day's job. This is his fourth loss in a row there. We're not Midwesterners. I know we got a lot of Indiana folks listening to this one who probably have an opinion one way or another, especially since Indiana's become a football school this year. Brian Day, I think he should be fired. And I'm not a fire guy, but I think 4 is the number. I don't even really have the patience to wait for a playoff win or loss coming up. I think 4 is the number. If you don't beat Michigan in 4 years, it's like going to high school. Senior year, if you don't do it, you're done. What do you think? Should the man lose his job?
We might have to get on a direct line with our guy Ross Bjork, DK, and have him back on to see, because in Columbus there, sometimes it's more important to beat Michigan than it is to win a national title. So unless they make a run in the playoff and get that national championship, he's definitely on the hot seat.
It's crazy. We talked about your kids if we don't have athletes, which, by the way, you might have 2 athletes, Rip. We didn't think in their younger years. As we're moving into 5 to 10 range, potential for athletes coming out of the Brand household. Put that aside, though. Early on, we were talking about recognizing possibly their non-athletic sides in terms of refereeing, maybe coaching, something along that set of skill set. Coaching, bro, is becoming more and more sexy. Really. So college football season's over now. Today's Monday. We have 15 head coaches that have been fired during the season since it ended on Saturday. Whatever. With schools owing more than $36 million in buyout fees. It's really kind of crazy. I'm telling you, I'm on this early, Rip, these coaches and these coaches' contracts. I think that they are incredibly inflated, like totally inflated. Let me give you just some examples of buyouts in 2024 alone. This is why coaching is great. Become a coach, get that job, get that money. It's all locked in. This is all guaranteed money. Have 2 bad seasons, and then you get 6 years of still getting paid. West Virginia, Neil Brown owned $9.77 million. Purdue, Coach Walters, $9.34 million. Tom Herman, FAU, $4.8. Mac Brown's walking away with $2.8. Coaching, Rip. This USC situation jumps out at me drastically. We just had a quarterback in the transfer portal. We have a head coach who brought Caleb Williams over. That was what they were paying for, essentially. But this man is owed $70 million. And I don't think anybody wants him in town, bro, at all. I think they want him out as quick as possible, to be honest with you. Coaching, Rip, am I onto something here? That this is fucked. This is a bubble that's going to come back to life. Or Is it going to keep going up? Is this game going to keep getting played? This seems like burnt money to me. Congratulations to Mike Bloomgreen from Rice, Will Hall from Southern Miss, Mike, all guys who got fired, who are just walking away with cake.
The problem with these coaches is they're so ingrained and they're maniacal. They can't just walk away and retire and move to Hawaii. They need to work. They need to get back in the job, in the game. You could take that $6 million, $9 million check and go retire easily and have a great life. But these guys want to work. They want to grind. They want to work 24/7. So I don't think any of these guys are going to be enjoying life for too long.
Some of them got enough money. Coach Malzahn, Gus Malzahn, forfeited. Rip, he was owed $12 million in buyout money from UCF. He was fired after a 4-8 season, if you remember. He just resigned as head coach so he could take that Florida State OC job. Said, I don't even need it. He's still working off that Auburn money. Your boy Cliff Kingsbury, I think he's still working off USC money, Rip, to be honest, and Cardinal money. Coaching, though. Coaching. Maybe we start a one-star coaching school.
High school coaching, Little League, maybe.
Little League. So what's next, right? So Ryan Day is owed $37 million. So what's your thing? What's your deal? So would you fire him or not, Rip? You gave me coach speak. Would you, Rip, fire Day or keep him?
I wouldn't. I think the guy's 66-10. I mean, it's the beat Michigan thing, but I think you give him another year, depending on how they do in the college football playoff, which it sounds like they have a 99% chance of still making, which is crazy. Depending on how long of a run or how many games they win in that, I think you got to table that decision for another month.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a fair answer. You look at it with a nice, clear mind. I think very tough situation to lose 4 in a game. But the game lived up to all the hype. We had a fight afterwards. We had about 4 post-game fights. These teams really hate each other. With all the bad coach money stuff I just brought up, on the flip side, I think college football culture, energy, and what do you call it, Rip? It's culture to me, especially in the SEC. People really fucking care, and it's very competitive. And I'll say it was fun as hell on Saturday. This was the best college football day that I've had in a long time that I can remember. And it's rivalry week. Some surprises. Your team, ASU. I would have never thought that I would see that after last year's Arizona State team. They are a really good football team in just 1 year. And this is the portal, some young coaching, and just this different era that we live in. One thing's for sure that I know that we can agree on, though, even in that blowout down in Tucson, game was fucking fun, Rip. Scatterbrew. Game was fun.
It's always more fun when you win. And now they got the Big 12 championship, which is nuts, against our guy Jamie Pollard and the Iowa State Cyclones. We have to send Jamie some Sonoran hot dogs to his office over there. But yeah, ASU, Kenny Dillingham has really turned things around. Even 4 or 5 games into the season, I wasn't buying it. But now I don't think there's any way you can deny it. They're a force. And if they can keep this up, that man had one of the toughest jobs in America. If he can turn that program around and turn it into a powerhouse year after year, it's probably one of the craziest things to happen in college football over the past 20 years.
That Sparky the Sun Devil and that Sun Devil program is finally building a foundation that's not based on these JUCO athletes or having the coolest uniform or whatever. It's becoming a place to be. We'll see. I'm excited about it. Moral of the story, college football is in good hands, at least from a one-star perspective. NFL football is in good hands. Arizona Cardinals, our team, not sure once again if we're in any hands. Such a winnable game against the Minnesota Vikings. A big lead into the fourth quarter. And then a series of dumb plays from Kyler Murray, including a back foot throw that didn't need to happen, and a couple bad scrambles and throws that led to turnovers. Rip, I put this game fully on his shoulders, even though the defense had a letdown. Minnesota's good, so you can't expect them to hold down a wide receiving core like the Vikings. God, I don't think I believe in Kyler at all. I'm going to have to give him a 1-star on belief at this moment in time, Rip. We're on a 2-game losing streak. We're on our way to Seattle for the biggest game of the season. Next week, is this a playoff team? I ask you every week, is this a playoff team?
Remarkably, it's still a first-place team, 6-6, right in that jumbled NFC West where everyone's still in the race. But 5 games left. They got Seahawks, Patriots, Panthers, Rams, and 49ers. All teams under 500, which is crazy. So favorable schedule. That said, I have zero belief in this team. I fully expect them to lose all 5 and go into next season with zero momentum.
A little bit harder to watch in that realm. Although McBride looked very good, and Godspeed. I'm gonna move on, Rip, because I don't have a lot of nice things to say about it. And I want to keep it relatively positive for my third day in the great Northwest, the wonderful North. But dude, by the way, I bought a RAV4. I did it. I'm a Toyota. Remember, I was all nervous about cars and shit. I did it. I'm a Toyota RAV4 owner, hybrid.
Fitting right in up there in Portland, man. We'll get that beard going longer and stick your head out the window of that RAV4 with your beanie on. You'll look perfect for Portland.
Go ahead and completely judge me right now when I say I bought a RAV4. What is the immediate thing that comes to your mind?
It's that Kanye West line, man. I think I say it once a month on this podcast. What you think I rap for? To push a fucking RAV4? At least you're not a rapper, man.
I feel so crunchy. I know it's not a crunchy car necessarily, but it feels like a crunchy hippie car. We're here, RAV4. Let us in. We're here, RAV4 owners. Let's party. Let's go. Let's go play pickleball and drink Moroccan lattes and whatever RAV4 people do. We up in here. We made it happen. RAV4 owners, bro. It wasn't as scary as I thought, by the way. No sales tax in Portland, in Oregon. It's crazy. I've been eating at all these restaurants. Round numbers. All the meals are your sandwich is $8. You pay $8, Rip. It's wild. Wild scene here. Never even seen that before. Let's do 1-star moments of the week. What do you got?
I got something that does involve sales tax, man. And really, it's just the same thing that happens every year, this time of year, right after Thanksgiving, the first Monday. It's checking your email inbox on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Between those 2 days, man, probably got about 2,000 emails. Just a disgusting display of marketing by all the retailers out there. I'm getting every website I've ever visited sends me at least 5 to 10 emails over the last 72 hours. It's really upsetting. I'm almost to the point where I'm just junking all these things. I can't do it anymore, but I'm being meticulous about it and deleting everyone individually. But it takes too much time. I'm tired of it. Keep the emails to maybe 2 per website, DK. 1-star moment of the week. Too many emails.
Yeah. It's a lot of emails. I mean, I got into a situation too where I signed up for this Furnished Finder, which is to help find furnished houses. It's really for like professionals, for traveling nurses and people relocating. And I put my information into the system thinking I'd get maybe 5 or 10 hits. I was relatively specific. I woke up the next morning to 149 text messages and 392 emails of people soliciting me or bots to come rent their rental furnished house in this area, which is when I realized for the first time supply and demand is actually in my favor. It has not been in my prior 2 homes, Rip. But I was so annoyed at all the emails and notes. I needed to do a spreadsheet or something. I couldn't even go through them. I feel your pain. Don't do that to us. We need stuff that's we need it all in one spot or none at all right now at this stage.
It's too much.
It's too damn much. 1-star moment for me. I left my prescription sunglasses in fucking Vacaville. Yes, home of the Jelly Belly factory. No, I did not go to the Jelly Belly factory, and I am pissed off about it. It was closed, though. And I can't see anything outside. I can't see anything. And what I did was I grabbed 2 things from my mother-in-law's car that have been just 1-star for me. Number one, I grabbed some sunglasses from her car. They're women's sunglasses, but they look like cheap Oakleys. You know, the wraparounds that the baseball coaches wear, Rip? Probably you have your baseball coaches probably wear them, but they're the small versions. Very women's sunglassy. But I've been wearing them and I can't see shit. In addition, in that same car, she happened to have that Lake Tahoe fleece that you see. And I sent over a picture this morning of me saying I look like SGA. That is a woman's fleece, medium. Okay? It is very fly. I've gotten multiple compliments on it. But I'm also walking around with women's sunglasses and a women's fleece. Very acceptable in this city. I mean, they accept of all of that. But 1-star for my vision, for my swag, unless I own it. On the flip side, if I own it, which I have been, I think it's even more stylish. But if I'm in my head, which I probably am too, then it's very homeless, chic, pass me down, embarrassing situations there. So 1-star moment is not being able to see and wearing women's clothes. Onward, Rip. Onward. I don't even want to acknowledge that. Rip, thank you. No words needed for that one. Okay, DK's a weirdo. Maybe I'm a bit in a bit of cross dressing if I like women's fleeces. That was a tight fleece, so I sent you the picture. Would you wear that fleece that I sent you in the picture this morning?
I'm trying not to acknowledge any pictures or women's sunglasses or any of your wardrobe from the last 48 hours. Let's move on.
Oh, God, I'm embarrassed. 1-star recommendation of the week. When I was down in the East Bay last week, I did In-N-Out Burger. We did Thanksgiving. And then I wanted something new and different because I like new and different stuff, especially when I'm in the mainland. Ooh, let me try some new and different stuff. Out in Brentwood, I think this is a chain all over the Bay Area, but brand new to me. In Brentwood, they have a place called Tandoori Pizza. It's a pizza spot, but with Indian flavors on their pizza. So tikka masala pizza, butter chicken pizza, sag paneer, creamy garlic sauce base usually, then all the vegetables and stuff that you see on it with big old chicken. It was great. 4 stars. I think it was a little too spicy for our group and for me. It was very spicy. I should turn down the spice on my tandoori pizza. But if you're in the Bay Area and want something different, I would recommend it, Rip. I think next time you're in San Jose, maybe try the tandoori pizza. Your mother-in-law, she could have gained a little bit more respect for you if you bring like an interesting food dish, an ethnic food dish over instead of a rhubarb pie.
Look at you back on the mainland, discovering all kinds of places that have been around for the last 5 to 10 years. It's like you were a castaway and now you're back. I love it.
What do you know about tandoori pizza? You been there?
I've seen them before. I haven't been there, but I've seen them before. They're all over the place.
Ah, it's new to me, man. Get out of here. New to me. Same with Dutch Brothers, bro. All new to me.
All right, we'll get next time after you grab a new restaurant. I advise you highly to go to the theater and check out Moana 2, DK. I'm telling you, it's been a long time for Moana fans. We went and saw it the other day, opening night, Moana 2. It's all about bringing people together, something, the 1-stars love to do, and also really an inspiration for a lot of young girls out there to show some leadership and step up to the plate. It's an amazing movie, man. I'm a 40-year-old man, and I was in that theater clapping at the end. DK, it's a great movie for kids and adults, so check it out. Maybe in 3D, Moana 2. What are the odds you're going to see Moana 2 anytime in your life?
I never seen Moana 1. I'll probably see it, man. I'll probably see it. I'm not mad at those. I just haven't seen them, but I probably will. You think your kids associate a little bit closer to the Moana flicks because they spent some time in Hawaii with me and they came out on that trip a couple years ago?
Probably a little bit, yeah. I mean, there's a guy named one of the main characters is named Maui, where they went, where you lived. So yeah, I think so, a little bit. It's a great movie though. You got to check it out, man. Take your niece and nephew.
You sell those youngsters yet on my batting cage sponsorship idea? Because I'm about to pull my money. I'm spending too much money now. The offer's going to be off the table. If I want, I would really appreciate some tax write-off marketing, some advertising for the podcast and myself at the batting cage of future professional baseball players and or college football coaches. But if they say no, they say no. I'm done with it.
I need 7 more days. I'm trying to figure out a situation where the dogs keep peeing on the turf in the batting cage. my 8-year-old commented that the batting cage smells like pee the other day. So I got to figure that out first, and then I'll move on to the sponsorship idea.
If you can hit curveballs when it smells like pee, you can hit curveballs in any situation. Rip. That's the name of the game. Ignore it. Focus on the ball. Good rec, though. Good 1-star moments. Not bad. Rip reacts. Hit the music. Value guy alert. The Diamondbacks are bringing back their ballpark pass next season. Features tickets to all 81 home games for take a guess, Rip.
$81
For the whole thing?
Let's do it. $1 a game.
It's not quite 1942. That's cute that you said that. Not quite there. God, value guys want so much value. 81 home games for $299. So what is that, Winston? $3.70 per game. Not bad. Not bad. Would you do that deal, Rip?
That's too many games. I'm not going to all 81. I know they're going to stick you up in that corner section of the 500 level up there where it's like a half a mile away from home plate. I've sat up there before. I'd go for 5 games a year, but 81 games is way too much, DK.
It'd be a cool idea for all Little League baseball coaches in the Valley to maybe do 4 seats, maybe even just 2 seats, and then rotate around parents and kids to go have a fun time out. I mean, that's nothing. $7 gets them out there. The problem is you spend $250 on parking, 2 pretzels, and a Diet Coke. You know, that all catches up with you. It's all a big hustle, bro. I got pulling your wool over my eyes. You gotta keep this thing moving along here.
What's the worst idea? A $1 a seat for MLB season, or your Race Thompson night where everyone in America with the first name Race shows up to an arena. 4 people, DK.
Like I told him, man, small group in the G League. We'll take that. Come on out. Group sales, man. Get them doing the courtside shoot around or down in that high five tunnel. Unheard of, that many races. Arizona State head coach, we already talked about him, Coach Dillingham. This is pretty cool. Man, this guy's cool. We got to get him on the show. He's receiving a $200K bonus for getting to 9 wins, which nobody expected. We talked about it. He's giving 20 off-the-field staffers a bonus ranging from $5,000 to $10,000, which will come from that particular bonus. Rip, if you got a bonus of $1,000 for your Little League coach right now, would you pay out your fellow assistant coaches and or staffers, or would you keep that money for yourself?
I'd give 50% to them and keep the other 50, just like I do when I win a survivor pool. Give 50% to the organizer, keep 50% for myself. I think it's a good gesture. But yeah, Kenny Dillingham, probably a tax write-off for him, but good gesture nonetheless, like you said.
Is these F1 racers being little bitches, or is this a valid complaint from Las Vegas? A lot of fanfare for the F1 race that was in Vegas. Lots of fans come out. Several drivers, however, complained of strong smells of marijuana throughout the track. One of them said, if they dope the drivers now, I think we'll all test positive, Franco Copoliano said. So, the smell of weed while driving, Rip, valid complaint or deal with it? It's like pee in the batting cage.
How do you smell anything when you're going like 150 miles an hour, however fast these guys are going down the strip? Like, you just get a whiff of something and 3 seconds later you react to it? I don't get it. It's a 1-star complaint to me. The smell of weed has been everywhere for 10 years. The entire city of Portland smells like weed, and it's just a 1-star complaint.
It is that's what I was thinking. You're going 250 miles per hour. How much dro has to be being blown in your area? Like, is somebody smoking a blunt in your back seat? Like, you're going too damn fast. The smell, I should have added that too. The smell of cannabis is all over this city of Portland, except for one place, the elevator. Last night after we got home from dinner, a gentleman walked out. God, I want to give him props. My wife was not happy about this, but a heavyset gentleman on the elevator came out, and he had a nice smirk on his face. Something happened. He had a nice smirk. And we got in there, and he left us a fat, hefty, smelly fart. Got the throw up from my wife in there. I could only laugh, though. It is still a funny move to fart on an elevator and then exit. Come on, Rip.
You got to smirk when you're coming out, too. That's the key.
You got to. So not a complaint. You got to roll with the punches. There's a lot of press around that whole F1 thing because Brad Pitt was seen fainting. Turns out that was for a movie. So Brad Pitt's okay. He's not on that Jamie Foxx, P. Diddy, whatever they're doing over there. Your guy, Andrew Luck's returning to football as the general manager for the Cardinals. His home school, Stanford. So he'll oversee all aspects of Stanford's football program, from recruiting, roster management, sponsorship, stadium experience. Kind of a cool gig, a new job in college football, if you will. This general manager job. It's funny. I'm not trying to hype you, bro. I don't want to rizz you up. But when I saw this and his job, I thought, damn, Rip would be a wonderful college general manager. 1, do you think you would be? 2, what gig would you like?
I think I'd be a good one. I want to start out somewhere small, like the Citadel, or somewhere maybe in Southern California in a nicer environment. Maybe the University of Hawaii. I think Andrew Luck brings a lot of clout with him. So I think recruiting-wise, fundraising-wise, he'll do really well at that. Also seems like a really smart dude with a great reputation as well. So I'd have to start 1 star at the bottom. I'd have to start bare bones and work my way up. But I think if I started at a small program like that and do a decent job, I could be a stepping stone for me. So I'm down with it. Someone throw me an offer out there.
God, you go about life such a right way. You said all the right little things, Rip. You're not going to just go right to the big school and take all the big money. You're going to go work. You're going to go earn it, even in your make-believe world. You sweet man. You sweet man. How did Sarah do in the P-Dub in the women's hockey?
Opening night win, 4-3 in overtime for the New York Sirens. Our girl, Sarah Fillier, 2 assists to start the season. She's going to be a sensation, DK. I'm calling an MVP either this year or next for her.
Well, we are on this early. I can't wait to get you a Sarah Philippi jersey for Christmas, Rip. We'll be back next week. I'll be back in Hawaii. Rip will be in the same old spot, saying nice things, working real hard, following all the rules, being real respectful to people. I'm going to be playing pickleball, surfing, and working on my suntan. Give us 5 stars if you hate me. Straight up. We love you. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.